This is No Shame, All Play, the podcast where curiosity is welcome and shame gets left at the door. I'm Holly, an intimacy therapist, and I'm here to answer your real questions about sex and relationships. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Happy hump day. Today's question is, why do I have no sex drive even though I love my partner? A lot of people assume that if they truly love their partner, they should automatically want to have sex all the time. But love and sexual desire are actually not the same thing. You can deeply love someone and still struggle with libido. Sex drive is influenced by way more than just attraction alone. Stress, anxiety, hormones, trauma, body image, relationship dynamics, medication, parenting, burnout, pain during sex, depression, and even feeling emotionally disconnected from your partner can all impact desire. And for many people, having a low libido is not about not loving your partner enough. It's about your nervous system, how your brain and body have been programmed how to respond to stress, being in a chronic state of overwhelm or stress. So when our brains are in survival mode, sex often becomes the last thing that our body prioritizes. And quite truthfully, modern life is not exactly helping. So many of us are exhausted, overstimulated, disconnected, and carrying invisible stress all day long. And then, we expect ourselves to suddenly switch into erotic or desire mode at 10 p.m. after, days or weeks of relentless stress. And so being unable to make that switch is not a reflection of personal failure. It's called being human, and your brain is literally trying to conserve energy so that it can do what it has to do in order to survive and make ends meet. Another piece of this conversation comes from the work of Esther Perel, who is one of my favorites in the psychology field, and she talks a lot about the paradox of long-term relationships. She explains that love often needs safety, predictability, and security, but eroticism tends to thrive in freedom, novelty, curiosity, and a sense of separateness. So, in other words, the things that help us feel emotionally safe can sometimes be the exact things that reduce desire or eroticism over time. And that doesn't mean that the relationship is failing or doomed to fail. It just means that long-term intimacy requires us to balance two very different human needs at the same time: the need for connection and the need for individuality and separateness. Healthy relationships are not about losing yourself inside another person. They're about creating healthy interdependence, where both partners can stay connected while still maintaining a sense of independence, identity, playfulness, and curiosity. Sometimes desire grows best when we can see our partner as a separate person again, instead of just a roommate, a co-parent, or a teammate managing daily life together. Eroticism often just needs a little space to breathe. Another really important thing that people don't talk about enough is that desire does not always show up spontaneously. Movies teach us that healthy sexuality means constantly feeling horny out of nowhere, but many people experience what's called responsive desire. And that means desire happens after connection, touch, safety, relaxation, or emotional intimacy begins, not before. So if you've been waiting to magically get turned on or for desire to strike before engaging in sex or intimacy at all, and maybe you've thought something is wrong with you, please know that there is nothing wrong with you. You've just been given the wrong map or the wrong set of tools to help you navigate desire and libido and understanding yourself as a sexual being. And this is something that I help individuals and couples work with in my office all of the time. And if your sex life has started to feel like pressure, obligation, a performance, or just another task on the to-do list, your brain can start avoiding it entirely unconsciously, because humans naturally begin to avoid things that feel stressful. especially for people dealing with sexual trauma, pain, erectile dysfunction, shame around sexuality, or, relationship conflict. Your body is always paying attention to whether sex feels emotionally and physically safe. Okay, so what can we actually do about this? What actually helps? First, stop measuring your relationships solely by the frequency of sex. Healthy intimacy is about connection, communication, safety, pleasure, and emotional closeness, not just numbers. Number 2 is stop judging yourself for not wanting sex more, for not wanting to want it, for desire not being there, and start creating conditions or contexts in which arousal can safely emerge. Putting pressure on yourself for not wanting sex or not wanting to want sex more, again, it just creates pressure, which is going to shut down your libido even further. And third, if this has been going on for a while, talking to a therapist who specializes in sex and relationships can really help you uncover the root and find solutions instead of just blaming yourself or your partner, because low libido is often very treatable, and you deserve a sex life that feels connected, pressure-free, and emotionally safe. And if you're interested in working with me, head over to the link in my bio to learn more. Thanks for listening, everyone. If this episode resonated with you, feel free to share it with someone who might need to hear it too. Or if you would like your own sex questions answered in real time anonymously, email sexwithholly@gmail.com, and we will answer those on a future episode in the podcast. Until next time. This is No Shame, All Play, signing off.